President Trump is changing how money works in 2026. I'll show you. The war in the Middle East is making oil prices skyrocket, which not only makes your gas more expensive, but it also makes your groceries more expensive. At the same time, the United States economy is entering the late stages of what Ray Dalio calls the long-term debt cycle. Take a listen.
Now, in the private markets, credit markets, we just talk about a death spiral. And a death spiral is that part of the cycle when the debtor needs to borrow money in order to pay debt service, and it accelerates, and then everybody sees that and they don't want to hold the debt. That's where we're approaching.
Ray Dalio is the founder of the world's largest hedge fund, and they've been studying economies across the last hundreds of years, and they've found the exact same cycle to happen again and again and again. And the way that it works is a new economy becomes the world's superpower. For the United States, this happened after World War II, around 1944, that 1945 time, when the United States dollar became the world's reserve currency. In case you didn't know, the dollar was not always the world's reserve currency. It started around the 1944 to 1945 time. And then in the first phase, what happens is the economy, the empire can use debt strategically. You borrow money, and this money creates more income. And so now the economy is growing. People are becoming wealthier because more productivity is happening. The country is borrowing money, but is borrowing money strategically in a way to produce more than what that debt actually costs. And then you get to this bubble point, where now you keep borrowing money, even though it's not as strategic, it's not as productive, but because we kind of become used to it. So you keep borrowing and borrowing more money, and now you start to see this bubble where the economy starts to struggle because you realize, we borrowed a little bit too much money. And that's when the long-term debt cycle starts to enter its last phase, which is productivity is going down, but borrowing is going up. Why do you keep borrowing? Because now you as an economy, you as a nation, you as an empire become more reliant on the debt, and you keep needing this debt to be able to support the economy, to support more jobs. But as you print more money, the value of the currency goes down. But you need to keep printing to keep feeding people, because people think that they keep needing more money because the cost of living keeps going up. And this is the stage that Ray Dalio says that we have entered. And during this stage, Ray Dalio says, is when wars happen, and that's when economies, currencies, and also empires can flip. So what I want to do in this video is break down, number one, what Ray Dalio's philosophy is on this long-term debt cycle. Number two, I want to talk about what President Trump is doing in the economy right now and how he's changing our money. And number three, I want to talk about what this means for you. So if you're an investor, make sure you stick with me until the end. And this is also why on March 18th, I'm hosting a live, free, and virtual investor workshop where I'm going to be showing you my firm's research as to, number one, how the economy is changing, but also number two, how these economic changes actually create opportunities for financially savvy investors to grow their portfolios and to grow their retirements by understanding how to invest your money better. It's a free workshop, it's live. I'm doing it twice on March 18th, once in the morning at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, and again in the evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you've been feeling a little bit uncertain or uneasy with all the craziness happening in the economy, I invite you to register for free. The link is for you down in the description below. And as an added bonus, when you actually show up live on my workshop, my team is going to give you a free digital copy of our new book, How Money Changed Forever, for free, but you have to actually show up live on March 18th. So if you're an investor, I hope to see you there, and our soft crew has a limited number of people that can actually join us live. So if you're interested, I invite you to register soon. So if you read any of Ray Dalio's books, what he talks about is that in the late stages of this long-term debt cycle, there are 5 things that happen. Now, he's already said that the United States is in these late stages, but he says that the 5 things that happen in these late stages that are key indicators of that are, number one, high amounts of debt. Not just any debt, but government debt. And that's something that we've been seeing happen, that the United States government has been spending money that they don't have, and anytime they spend money they don't have, they have to borrow that money, which is why we have over $38 trillion of national debt. And that's why in 2025, we spent more money on interest payments on our debt than we did our entire military. That's how big our national debt has gotten. Then number 2 is rising internal conflicts. That's conflicts inside of the country itself. Whether there's more polarizing political views, it's this kind of internal civil war that starts to become happening in the country, which weakens the country because now the country is not united against others. It becomes attacking itself. And he said that we've been already seeing this in the United States. Then number 3 is the rising of rival powers. The foreign countries now start to see this as a weakness, here as an empire. And when they start to see it as a weakness, foreign countries then try to take advantage of it, of trying to grow their currencies, trying to grow their economies to beat the number 1 spot. And Ray Dalio says that we've been seeing this happen with China. The Chinese central bank has been working to acquire more physical gold as a way to strengthen their currency to compete against the United States. And the Chinese economy has been doing a lot to try to rival and have the ability to beat the United States. Then there's number 4, currency debasement, which means the currency losing value. The United States dollar is not backed by any physical metal like gold. It is just pieces of paper. It's backed by a promise by the United States government that this dollar has value. And when you start to print more of this money, the value of the dollar goes down, which we've been seeing happen, especially post-COVID. But not just that. In 2025, we saw the United States dollar lose about 10% of its value. It was one of the worst years for the dollar in about a decade. Now, why does that matter? Because President Trump has also been talking about wanting a weaker dollar to help with trade. That way countries around the world would want to buy more stuff with the United States dollar. That might be good for those businesses, but for people that are transacting with dollars inside the United States, a weaker dollar means you buy less stuff with a dollar. And that's something that Ray Dalio says that we've been seeing. And then what happens that Ray Dalio says is that once you reach these points, oftentimes you see an external war happen, that the empire will want to see another war, either because another country will want to attack when it's weak, or the country will try to use a war as a way to try to strengthen its economy, to try to strengthen its people, as a way now to spend more money on that war, and as a way to hopefully unite the nation. But what Ray Dalio says is oftentimes when you get to this stage of the long-term debt cycle, it becomes extremely difficult to continue financing these wars and to continue keeping the country united. And that's where now we're starting to see happen in the Middle East, according to Ray Dalio. So now that you understand the theory behind what Ray Dalio has been teaching for many years, let me talk about what's been going on in our economy today and over the last few years, because in 2025, our economy really started to change through tariffs. Why? Because these tariffs weren't just a way for the United States government to collect more tax dollars, but it was a way to try to bring business back into the United States, but also hurt other economies. What do I mean by that? If the United States is not doing as much business as it was with China, well, that's going to hurt the Chinese economy, because guess what? The Chinese and the United States were huge trade partners, and the United States economy was doing a lot of business in China. We had a lot of Chinese factories and a lot of Chinese manufacturing facilities. So if China is producing all this stuff for the United States, they're making a lot of money from the United States, what happens next? Well, China is also getting rich off of the business that the United States is doing. And the concern is if China's economy is growing faster than the United States, which it has been, that can be a problem, because that means the Chinese economy could outpace the United States. And this is where the tariffs are not just to generate that tax revenue, but also to kind of kick China in a way to pull those businesses out of China as a way to hurt the Chinese economy so it's not growing as fast. But that's not all. President Trump has been talking about wanting a weaker dollar. Why does he want a weaker dollar? Because if the dollar is weaker, that means foreign countries will want to buy more stuff from the United States, because then their currencies can buy more United States goods because their currencies are relatively stronger compared to the United States. And that's why in 2025, we saw the United States dollar see one of its worst years in the past decade. Well, that might be good to sell more stuff to these foreign countries, but for people that are carrying and saving dollars and spending dollars, it means that your dollar is not as strong, which means you need more dollars to buy stuff. And the problem with that is incomes have not been rising fast enough to keep up with inflation. So the weaker dollar does hurt the people that are working to earn dollars and save dollars. And then we have changes at the Federal Reserve Bank. President Trump has been talking about replacing the chairman at the Federal Reserve Bank by somebody named Kevin Warsh. Now, why does this matter? Because President Trump says that he wants lower interest rates. Well, these lower interest rates can make inflation worse, because if you lower interest rates, it means people borrow more money and people spend more money, which can cause the prices of things to go up. Now, when President Trump said he wanted lower interest rates, this was before the conflict in the Middle East. But if he wants lower interest rates, the concern was making inflation worse. And now this chairman, who President Trump has appointed, He says, President Trump says, that he's going to be listening to what President Trump says and will deliver on these lower interest rates. So that's what the initial plan was, and that is still kind of what has been discussed in the background. And Kevin Warsh is supposed to start as the chairman of the Federal Reserve Bank in May. But then we have what's going on in the Middle East, because after the United States attacked Middle East, oil prices shot up, which have a direct impact on the prices of things, because higher oil prices make transporting goods more expensive, and it makes producing goods more expensive, which could make the inflation problem worse as well, which means cutting interest rates just became a whole lot more difficult when you have high oil prices. So now that you understand the rate value philosophy, and now that you understand what's going on in the economy, the question is, what does this mean for you? And what does this mean for potential investment opportunities? And the reality is, history doesn't exactly repeat itself, but it does rhyme. The last time we really saw money change was in the early 1970s, was when the dollar was taken off of the gold standard. And during that time, in the early 1970s, what we saw happen was gold prices boomed while the stock market got hurt. The stock market got hurt because the economy was hurting, but gold prices went up because investors were concerned. Now, the reason why that's a little bit different than now is because today we've already been seeing an inflation problem. Not to mention, gold prices have already been rising. Gold prices have been booming since the pandemic because people have been concerned about the dollar since then. And so the question is, will gold prices keep going up? And the answer is, we don't know. But if you are concerned about the dollar, if you're concerned about the economy, that could be one potential investment opportunity to consider. Now, again, I'm not here to tell you what to purchase. I'm just a random guy on YouTube. Investing has risks. You are never guaranteed to make money when you invest. In fact, you will lose money at some point. So make sure you always do your own due diligence and never blindly trust a random guy on YouTube. My goal is just to help you think like an investor. That way we can understand how to find opportunities based off of where you think the economy is moving. I'm not here to tell you what to think. I'm here to help you think like an investor. So if you have concerns about the dollar, if you believe that the dollar is going to lose value, historically, gold has done well during those times. And there are funds that can give you exposure to the gold if you did not want to buy physical gold. Something like GLD will give you exposure to that gold. Just understand that if worries about the dollar go down, gold prices will also go down. How do I know? Well, we can just take a look at history. Between 2008 to 2012, when the last financial crisis was happening, money was being printed through quantitative easing. Hyperinflation concerns were everywhere. People thought that the dollar was going to collapse, so gold prices boomed. But then in 2012, when people realized, oh, this financial crisis is passing, the dollar is going to be okay, gold prices crashed. They crashed in 2012. They continued to crash in 2013 to 2014 to 2015 to 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019. And then gold prices started to hit new highs in 2020. What happened in 2020? The pandemic hit and the money printer was turned on again. So this is contingent on money being printed and the dollar losing value. Number two is investing in energy. And the reason why is because anytime we've seen conflict in the Middle East in the past, we have seen oil prices go up and we've seen energy costs go up. Who does that benefit? It benefits those energy companies. Now, on one hand, we hear the White House saying that this war in the Middle East is going to be very short. We don't know if that's true. If this war goes longer than expected, well, energy prices could stay high for a while, which makes those energy companies wealthier. Well, you can invest in those energy companies, and ETF like XLE will give you exposure to those types of oil companies, to those types of energy companies, if that is something that you believe in that will continue to go up. Again, this is contingent now on oil prices staying high, energy prices staying high for longer. Number three, defense. Because if the war goes on longer, well, that means more money is going to be going into building ammunition, building tanks, building jets, building other military equipment. And those companies are private, meaning they're owned by investors. And you can own a piece of those companies on the stock market, and you can invest in funds that will give you exposure to those military-related companies. Again, my job here is not to tell you what you need to believe in or what your morals need to be, because yes, there are certain things that I will not invest in because I just don't believe in it, but I'm here to tell you how Wall Street thinks. That way you can understand how to think like an investor. ITA is an ETF that's going to give you exposure to the defense industry, and as wars go on longer, government contracts get bigger for these defense industries. Number four is United States industrials. If tariffs are intended to bring manufacturing and businesses back to the United States, and that actually works, well, then those companies that are bringing these industrials and manufacturing here could see benefits, because then they can avoid the tariffs, they can avoid the supply chain mess, and they can continue to build more manufacturing here in the United States. So you can invest in those industrials, and an ETF like XLI can give you exposure to United States industrials and reshoring of companies here into the United States. And then number 5 on the more defensive side that can also pay with income is RE, meaning real estate. This is not an ETF, it's an acronym for investing in physical real estate, because no matter what happens with artificial intelligence, people are going to need a place to live, people will need places to go and eat. You can own the real estate and generate income from it. Or an ETF like SCHD. As a disclaimer, I'm personally invested in SCHD. This is an ETF that will give you exposure to high dividend paying companies in the United States. It's not a way to invest in huge growth, but it's a way to create stable income, because these are companies that have been making big profits, that are working to grow their businesses, but also working to grow how much income they're paying. So SCHD is one of those dividend plays. The way that you win with these types of things is through a strategy I call ABB, always be buying. And the way that works is you buy every week, every 2 weeks, every month, whether markets are going up and down. The only time you change it is when markets go down. Maybe you buy a little bit more because it allows you to buy more at a discounted price. So what we talked about in this video is that our economy is changing. We know that this war in the Middle East is going to change inflation, it's going to change oil prices. We don't know how long it's going to take, but the reason why it matters is because if you start to study what things like Ray Dalio says, Ray Dalio has been talking about this long-term debt cycle. And there are 5 stages, 5 key pieces to a long-term debt cycle towards the end that you generally see at the end of empires. And this is after studying many empires rise and fall throughout history. And they are: number 1, rising national debt. Number 2, rising internal conflicts. Number 3, rising rival powers. Number 4, currency debasement. And then number 5, an external war. And what Ray Dalio has been warning is that we are now seeing this external war, which could be more signs of the United States nearing the end of this long-term debt cycle, which can change the value of the dollar, and which could potentially mean that the dollar could lose the status as the world's reserve currency at some point in the future. Not necessarily in the next 6 to 12 months, but in the coming years, which is something you may want to pay attention to, because that can change a lot of things in the economy. Well, what we then talked about is, if all these changes are happening, what does that mean for you, and how could they create potential investment opportunities? And so we talked about 5 different ways that you could potentially invest your money. We talked about how gold generally benefits when people are concerned about the dollar. We talked about how energy companies generally profit when oil prices are high. We talked about how defense companies profit as wars go on longer. We then talked about if companies are bringing business back to the United States, how those industrial companies could benefit. And then we talked about the protection you play investing in physical real estate, or investing in something like SCHD as a way to generate income. Now again, I'm not telling you what to invest in, just helping to think like an investor. Again, if you're an investor, I invite you to join me on March 18th on my live investor workshop. That way you can see more in detail as to how things are changing and how we can create potential investment opportunities for you. If you got value out of this video, the best thank you is a referral. If you could, please share this video with a friend, family member, colleague, or fellow investor. That way we can continue to spread this type of financial education. Thank you. About 50 years ago, the United States was facing an inflation problem, and then we were hit with high oil prices because of conflict in the Middle East. Sound familiar? Because we're seeing something similar happen today. In the 1970s, the Federal Reserve Bank took certain actions in response to all the changes in the economy, which made some people very rich, while everybody else